Alright everyone, we got a lot of news tidbits to catch up on since I went to E3 for reasons still unknown to myself, so let's get started. All of the things I'll be referencing, podcasts, articles, videos, are in the description in no particular order. So first things first, beta dates were announced. You're probably familiar by now. PlayStation pre-orders get it on July 18th. Xbox pre-orders get it on the 19th, and everyone else on console gets it on the 21st until the 23rd. The PC beta is coming sometime in August. They didn't give any sort of date yet, nor have they given any sort of minimum specs. The console launch was pulled to September 6th, 2 days earlier. It's not the 8th anymore. And the PC launch of the game is October 24th. Bungie has said that they are doing their best to make sure that they eventually line up the platforms to have simultaneous releases in terms of DLC, expansions, although in the PC Gamer interview, Luke Smith sounded like he was saying that because of the delayed PC launch, the PC crowd may miss out on that first time raid experience, but it was not explicitly said. Speaking of missing out on stuff, yes, PlayStation exclusive content will be continuing in the exact same fashion that it has, or at least was planned to. PlayStation will be getting a Strike, Lake of Shadows, a Ship, an Exotic, Borealis, and a PvP map, Retribution. These exclusives will become available to other platforms in probably fall 2018 or whenever the next large expansion to the game comes around that time, if it comes around that time. It is the same system we saw with Year 1 into Year 2. Unfortunately, a lot of the Year 2 stuff never came to Year 3, probably because that content was linked with Destiny 2's release and not Rise of Iron, and Destiny 2 was supposedly supposed to launch in 2016. And complain, exclusives are bad, why do we still have this, yada yada, business, things. Let's just get that out of our system right now. Alright. So back to beta. What's going to be in the beta? Well, we're going to have all the subclasses, all 6 of them. Otherwise, the beta appears that it'll be everything that we've seen so far. The Inverted Spire Strike, Countdown PvP, and the Homecoming story mission. The only difference is that the general public will actually be able to play it. However, I would not put it past Bungie if they chose to incorporate some more minor things that we simply don't know about yet. It'll also probably be a more updated build compared to what I've played, but how updated, we'll just have to wait and see. As for any hopes of transferring stuff to or from PC from console when PC launches, there are currently no plans for that. I've read somewhere that it is a very, very long-term goal for Bungie, so do not expect that anytime soon. It's a little disappointing. A lot of questions on how the game is going to look, especially with the Xbox One X now being revealed. PS4 Pro is going to be capable of running the game in 4K at 30 FPS. In statements made by Mark Noseworthy on Twitter, quote, "We would never hold back the game performance on a platform to appease a partner. No partners have asked us to either. We optimize for each platform's tech to deliver the best game experience we can, period. All consoles will run at 30 FPS to deliver Destiny 2's AI counts, environment sizes, and number of players. They are all CPU bound. We are currently evaluating 4K for the Xbox One X. It launches after Destiny 2, so we're focused on the launch consoles right now," end quote. So, there you go, console, 30 FPS for now until we get something much stronger. If you want a high frame rate experience, you better start saving for that PC rig. If you want to take a look at what the game looks like in 60 FPS, in 4K, I have my Homecoming mission right here on the channel. Guided games is going to be limited to normal mode activities, so heroic level and anything above heroic that might exist, you're still going to need your own fire team in order to complete that content, but more detailed descriptions of what is and isn't guided games accessible was not exactly given. How about some PvP? We'll talk more about this in my next video, but Destiny 2 will not be launching with ranked play, nor is there much of a concrete timeline or idea of when it might come. Quote, if we don't get it for September 6th, there will be some way for players to show off their prowess to other people, which is ultimately what a ranking system is. We're working on something, end quote. PvP is going to be split into 2 modes. You have your quick play style mode, Clash, Control, Supremacy. Then you have competitive, which is countdown, and another to be announced mode. PvP maps are being designed with specific modes in mind, sort of like Destiny 1, but I think they're ramping it up a little bit more for Destiny 2. At this time, it does not appear that Rumble, the free-for-all mode, will be in Destiny 2. This is slightly older news, but the motion tracker in Destiny 2, the radar, is now a fixed distance, unlike Destiny 1. In Destiny 1, the radar kept expanding its reach at times when there was nothing nearby or activity was low. Destiny 2 is not going to have that. The distance that the radar will pick up enemies is locked. Some more minor notes on subclasses. Sentinel will have some form of a Ward of Dawn-like thing at their disposal, but self-res is gone for Warlocks, not very unexpected. But don't worry your casual little head, because it seems like Bungie may be loosening up the revive system a little bit. Quote, we had a conversation. We have a brand new death penalty, and on the normal mode raids, people have talked about wanting to remove it because it's different, and why not use the strike difficulty? But we don't want to change the difficulty because we believe our players are smart, end quote. So, something is going to happen. All that being said, Sunsinger, Defender, and Blade Dancer are gone, and the new subclasses will be taking their places. How about some story stuff? Well, the concept of the Darkness, TM, appears to be going away in Destiny 2 almost completely, even down to the wipe screen. Luke Smith clarified that at one point, Bungie didn't even know what the Darkness was. It was just this very ambiguous group that they sort of lumped all the enemies under. Destiny 2 is going to focus more on the loss and gain of light and what it means to be chosen. That's not to say that Bungie doesn't have a plan for the Darkness, but it won't be the focus, at least not in the short-term future of Destiny 2. The Exo Stranger? Yeah, she's pretty much gone. I would not expect her back anytime soon, if ever. How about some new modes? Well, we got Flashpoint, which isn't exactly a mode. It kind of feels like Nightfall for Patrol. So every week, a certain location is going to be featured, sort of like what we have now for strikes and raids. It'll be a beefed up version of the typical Patrol experience for that specific area with Nightfall tier rewards. Finally, you guys have probably seen the linear fusion rifle by this point in my gameplay if you watched it. They basically took Queenbreaker's bow and made it an archetype in the game in the power slot as a fusion rifle. And I think that's about it for a lot of the big stuff. Definitely more minor details hidden away in those podcasts and the articles and such. Again, all of that is linked in the description. I highly recommend digging through all that stuff because it was just awesome to get to read it and get to listen to it. I'm going to keep my thoughts out of this video. I want to spare them for another video. I just want this one to be pure information. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you next time.